Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy here, always spreading love, light, and positivity. I'm doing a longer version of the video that I put out as a short. This is about forgiveness or thankfulness, however you want to look at it. I understand that it's very difficult to be able to forgive the people in your past or even yourself that have maybe done you wrong, or at least so you think. I know that was something that I struggled with for a long time, because there was a piece of me telling me that I was supposed to forgive in order to feel better. Forgive them, forgive myself for being put in that position, even in the first place. And then with my awakening, I began to realize that the awareness that I actually always had wasn't because, or just because, it made me feel better to be able to see the other side, like the other person's point of view. In all actuality, being that we're all interconnected light beings, then it does make sense that to support someone else is, in a sense, supporting yourself. And it also made sense to me that if I uplift another person, or let them uplift me, that not only did I do a benefit to me and to that person, but I also fulfilled the contract. Sorry, nose is itchy. I also fulfilled my contract that I made up in the ether with all of these people that have, in my old thought pattern, done me wrong. So apparently there were lessons that either I or they or together we needed to learn to overcome in order to be able to move forward. And as I received my awakening and my awareness, and it became more and more clear to me that this contract was in play not to hurt, but to help us, to assist us in growth and development. There were things that we wanted to accomplish that we're not even aware of right now, at least not completely aware of. There may be a piece of you that is nudging you one way or the other. You could call it intuition, you could call it a higher power, you could call it your higher consciousness pushing you in the area in which you have lack, or you wanted to work on, or you wanted to fix. I know that in my life, there must have been an awful lot of lack or an awful lot of fix that I needed to perform. And I come to find out that I did accomplish all of my tasks, my goals, if you will. Well, not all of them. I'm leaning on the edge of new endeavors, and you are definitely it. My whole life went in a whole different direction because I'm being led there, and I'm listening and I'm following. For the first time in a very long time, I'm not fighting the universe. I'm not struggling to survive. I'm looking to thrive. And I know that the only way I could do that is following the path that I had worked out originally in the ethers for my better development, my higher ascension, or my higher consciousness, if you will. And you have that too. We all do. Every single one of us does. And it took a definite slap in my face for me to be able to see it, to actually see it. And it wasn't just a slap in the face, it was a kick in my gut. So I was slapped in the face, and I was kicked in my gut, and I was brought to my knees, literally, because the universe knew, my higher consciousness knew, that I have not let disruption, dismay, unfortunate things, anything sideways, affect me long term in a negative way. And yes, I know I hung out in solitude within myself for 20 years, and I designed my own reality, but it was the safety net, I thought. And in reality, all I was doing was prolonging the inevitable. And I see all that now. And there's a little voice inside of me that tells me not to fret so much, because everybody has their time. And my time wasn't until now. It wasn't until now for me to be able to shine brighter than I ever did. So don't be upset with yourself if you feel that you should have already started shining. Maybe your time to shine is tomorrow. Maybe once you have the courage and the strength to grab the uncertainty of the future and take hold of my hand and let me help you ascend from where you are to where you're supposed to be. I'm gladly willing to do that for each and every one of you. Whether it's singly or together as a group, I can tell you right now that all you have to do is have courage. Just a little bit of courage. If you leave me a message that says, help, I'll try to find you and I'll try to help you. Because it took me way longer than it should have to understand that the word forgiveness isn't just so that we have inner peace. It's way more than that. It's being thankful straight off and foremost, that you were able to engage in the contract lessons that you designed for yourself. Because everybody has free will. So you could have just shied away. You could have turned your back and hid, but you didn't. You bravely took on the hardships or the dilemmas or the uncomfortable situations in order for your own personal growth. And you probably didn't even realize that you were doing it for those reasons. Maybe you thought that you were a glutton for punishment. And I only say that because there was a long time in my life that I thought I was glutton for punishment, that I deserved what it was that I was getting, that at some level I wasn't a good enough person, that I didn't do the right things. And let me tell you, it was easy for me to sit there and think, well, that's a possibility, because I wasn't a good person all the time. I didn't handle things tactfully at all. Unless you want to consider walking up to someone and punching them in their face for a wrong that they may have done without even realizing now, like I didn't know then. And yes, I did grip people up. Yes, I did show them that what they give, they could receive. And if it was negative or didn't taste good or hurt, they did taste that. And I'm not at all ashamed or afraid to say that, not that I was a bully, I was never a bully. As a matter of fact, I stood in front of all the less fortunate people. All they had to do was say, protect me. And I did. Little Wendy. I've always been small, obviously. I didn't shrink. And I've always been thin. Well, shapely, if you will. And I'm actually, people don't consider me to be as abrasive as I actually could be, have been. And I shock a lot of people. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to stay away from you, or I hope I never come across you in a dark alley. But I tell them all, live right, do right, keep your vibration high, be positive, don't want to hurt another person for your gratification, and then you won't have to worry about me coming after you. And my kids did tell me, maybe about 15 years ago, that I should stop fighting people in the street. That I would get in trouble. That the times were changing and things were becoming different. She was so much closer to the truth than she ever knew. She just didn't want me, being the only person who was taking care of them financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, to be taken. And I understand that. And by the grace of God, I was never really arrested. Actually, I was never arrested. Really doesn't come to play. I was never held accountable in a negative way for any of the bad things that I did. And maybe that was part of my contract. Maybe I needed to learn how to, be deceitful or be strengthful, if you will, on every different level in order to be able to stand here today tall for you. And I'd like to believe that that's a definite possibility. It makes me feel better for being, an ass most of my life, at least according to other people. But I always considered myself to be fair, that I handled everything with poise, strength, courage, and above all, fairness. I was always fair. I am still fair. I will look for the better points in a person, even if their worst points are being shown to me, because everybody has two sides. Well, they have three, depending upon how you want to look at it. There's the good, the indifferent, and the bad. Wherever it is that you fall on that spectrum, it's okay, because we're all supposed to experience all of those emotions, every single one of them. Some people get more of the bad, some people get more of the good, and then there's people that just live through indifference and nothing affects them. And those people may come off cold, but maybe they've got everything figured out. Maybe they already knew that there were contracts and that everything was designed as a destiny, a roadmap, a blueprint, if you will, for our growth and development. I'm still working on that, and as I come across that, I'll let you know, because I am very, very transparent. If there's anything you want to know, I'll be more than happy to tell you. I don't sugarcoat, I don't hide things, although I will try to tactfully say, because I do now understand the importance of not stepping on another person's feet, but being very thoughtful, mindful, because I don't want to drop another person and have me fall with them. I would much rather uplift as many as I can so that I can go even higher, so that I can bring everybody with me. That's my goal. I'm looking to take my community to the highest level of consciousness, of awareness, of life, of love as possible. Join me. Don't be afraid. I will gladly stand before you and anyone who needs me to be their strength, their pillar, their courage. Because the one thing that I do know is that I am a fighter. I'm a survivor. Well, at least I was. Now I'm a thriver. I thrive. And you can too. You just have to believe in you. I believe in you. Together we could make mountains just appear. Oh, I can't wait. It's just going to be so great. Well, thank you for listening to me and hanging out. I do appreciate, and I did want to leave a side note and say thank you to everybody who's supporting me, because without you, I couldn't even get this far. And there's so many more that are going to come and join us, and we are all going to reap the benefits. I promise you that, because the one thing that I do is share. I share everything. I don't keep anything for myself, because what good is to have things if you can't share them with the ones that mean everything to you? And you guys are my life purpose, and I want to share with you my journeys, my triumphs, even my hardships, my dismays, because every step that I take leads me closer to you, to the divine, to the ultimate plan. And I'm just giddy, so giddy. Alright, well, before I make everyone cry, because I'm going to start crying from pure happiness and joy, I'm going to wish you all a great day and tell you I cannot wait to see you again. Blessed be my family.